What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar Talks Football. Um, listen, guys, what is going on? Yet another
Wait
episode.
a second, Omar. Stop right
There we
there.
go.
Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt. Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt. Yeah. But you know me, man. I don't gloat. I don't do those things. I don't banter. I'm not that kind of guy, guys. And you know that as well. Yeah. I don't do the banter stuff. Yeah. What I can say is to everyone out there, this show is going to deep dive properly into why Barcelona lost that game against Girona. This is being recorded, may remind you, 30 minutes after the game has ended. So it's all fresh in Omar's memory. It's all fresh in my memory. So we're going to talk about it. I know he's upset. That's why I had to stop him, because I don't feel that he understood the complexity of doing a video 30 minutes after losing to Girona. This is a Catalan derby, and yeah, I'm shocked myself, mate. I'm shocked myself. I don't even know what was going on in the match. But Omar, mate, carry on. Sorry, mate. Sorry for interrupting. I will let you carry on, mate. I'll let you carry
Well, I appreciate you letting me actually finish my introduction.
on.
Yes,
Okay,
ladies
cool.
and gentlemen, it's yet another episode of the Madrid Podcast. And unfortunately, guys, it's the worst time to have Dave on the channel. Even though, yes,
I don't
he's not
gloat
the
though, man. You
gloating
know me. I
type.
don't. I don't. I don't gloat,
He
man.
doesn't, but listen, man. Listen, you are absolutely ecstatic, man. Like you mentioned, we are recording this literally moments after the game is over. I'm still pissed. I am so angry. I am fuming right now. But I'm gonna be very calm, right? Because at the end of the day, life is too short. You feel me, right? At the end of the day, I'm not gonna let this ruin my whole day, even though my day is ruined. But yeah, let's just dive straight into it. No wasting time.
Okay, cool.
Girona 2, Barcelona 1. And you know what, Dave? Before I even let you have your say, I'm gonna just say this now. I was worried going into this game. When I did my match preview, I was saying, listen, we have to learn from the Atletico game. We have to learn and look at the mistakes that we made and avoid doing that in this game. We cannot afford to mess this up because look, Girona might be 15th, but their home record is not bad. Even Real Madrid couldn't beat them in their stadium. Right? It's a tough stadium to go to. And not to mention, it's a Catalan derby, like you mentioned. So if they can dent our title hopes, you know they're going to try everything
Like
they can
Espanyol would
to.
as well if they had their chance as well. The same.
Facts, exactly. And I said, we need to make sure we go out there, we go and we start well. We learn from our mistakes and do what we need to do. And I saw none of that today. Didn't see none of that. It was an embarrassing performance, Dave, from start to finish. And you know what really encapsulated for me this game, really, Dave? It wasn't just the performance. It was the fact that when we scored, we conceded within a minute later. I'm in my chat, talking to the chat, and I'm telling them in the next last 10 minutes of this game, 80th minute, we will concede if the game is still 1-1. And I wasn't even predicting it. I was saying it with so much certainty because I know this team. I know what kind of vibe I felt watching that game. And long behold, when did we concede the goal? 86th minute. And you know what? It's nothing short of what we deserved. We deserved nothing from that game. It was a pathetic performance. Defensively, again, Dave. Bro, let's be real. Girona, if we're just going to keep it 100, Dave, they're trash in attack. If you look at the amount of time Brian Hill went one-on-one, if that was any typical top winger that could finish, he could have scored a brace minimum in that first half, the chances he had. And I'm like, bro, this is like deja vu. Lookman against Kunde, the whole game on Thursday, right? What's his name? Simeone against Balde on the left hand side. Again, I said, bro, what the hell? What is all this talk I heard about Flick? Giving these players the hairdryer treatment, going off on them. Clearly, the players weren't listening because nothing changed, and we got exactly what we deserved. Every single player, from the player to the manager, every single person should hold accountability for this disgraceful performance that I witnessed today, for sure.
True.
We deserve what we got today. But Dave, just tell me what you think, man.
I have to be completely honest. This game is again on Hansi Flick. It's again on him. Atletico Madrid was on him. This game was on him again. I have absolutely no idea why he's so stubborn. You know that Girona, and regardless of their position, I've said this before, I said this on my match preview, and I said this on the Barca Quad Pod. I said Girona are one of the best possession-based teams in La Liga. They know how to pass the ball. That's one thing they know how to do. And regardless of their defense and so forth, they know how to pass the ball. What they were doing was passing around Barcelona and making them look amateur at times. The way they were opening up on the left wing and the right wing was absolutely horrendous in terms of Barcelona's stature in defense and what they were doing. Like, how do you let Girona make underlapping and overlapping runs between the centre-back and the left-backs and the centre-backs and the right-backs on a consistent basis throughout the whole match? This is on a consistent basis. They had 9 shots on target. 9 on target, Girona. I think Barcelona had 4, maybe 5. 9 on target. Jean Garcia also had some great saves as well. Made it more respectful. But honestly, Girona could have been 4, 5, maybe even 6. I've got to be honest. Hansi Flick is crucifying these players by playing this high line for life situation where he's just allowing the players to die on their shield because of this system. They're not good enough for this when Inigo Martinez is not there. They're not good enough. Inigo Martinez kept the line straight. He kept the players in check. He kept the defense in check. He was the main glue that held it all together. You cannot go into a match, the Catalan derby. This is the main one, by the way. People think that Espanyol also, but as of recent years,
this is the one.
Position, because of Girona's position, because of how they have been kind of gradually feeding in towards La Liga as well, and the positions as of recent years. This is the main Catalan derby. Obviously, Espanyol is as well because of their history together. But this is also a main Catalan derby. And this is one of the biggest games in Spain. And you go to Girona, a team that can pass the ball about correctly, and they absolutely annihilated Barcelona on various occasions. Barcelona fans, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to be furious. No, I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the fact that they lost 4-0 against Atletico Madrid. And they didn't go in this match and give a performance. Like, you're expecting your team to bounce back from something like that. And especially Rafinha. Hansi Flick, I've got to ask you a question. Why is Rafinha coming off? I'm sorry. Yeah? Why is Rafinha coming off? I don't know if it was an injury or something, but why is he coming off so early to be replaced by Ronnie Baldaggi? This is somebody who is naturally left-footed and cannot really cut in like Rafinha can and use both of his feet wisely. Because I know Rafinha's like that, but Rafinha can shoot with his right foot and he can shoot with his left foot. He can play with both feet. Rafinha was one of the most dangerous attacking players today, and he was brought off.
Only one. The only one. Yeah. Let's be real.
Yeah, and Yamal, he had a gilt-edged one-on-one shooting opportunity. That one-on-one.
Yes, he tried to chip the
lead
keeper.
The game. And he's literally hitting it straight at him. And then also the penalty. I'm sorry.
Bro.
I'm going to say this right
By
now.
the way,
Yamal,
I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I don't know if you saw it, because someone in my chat saw it when I was doing the watch along. Did you see that he actually took the ball off Rafinha? Rafinha was actually
he did.
trying to take it.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say something like that, but I was going to say this right now. Yamal, I know you're young. I know you also have an ego, some stent, and so forth, bro. Yeah? If I was a Barcelona player on that pitch, I'll be calling him words under the sun that he will never forget for the rest of his life. You cannot, first of all, take the ball off Rafinha. Rafinha is, I can say right now, if I'm putting any player in charge of a penalty decision when the game has not gone in your favor so far to lead at halftime, regardless of it is whatever people say, penalty, not penalty, whatever, it looked like a penalty to me. It seems like, obviously, Omar got stamped on, so that's fine. Look, the situation is that if you're having faith in one singular player to take your penalty, at that moment, you do not burden the whole weight of Barcelona's shoulders on yourself, bro. On Yamal, because he wants to be the star at that moment. I'm sorry, yeah? There's a word that starts with D and ends with D, yeah? And I'm not even going to say it because it will get cancelled, bro, yeah? That is you at that present time. Rafinha is a better penalty taker than you in 100 million years. I could see your face walking up to that penalty and having the Girona fans right in front of you. Rafinha wouldn't care about them. You looked at them. Your face said a million pictures before you took that penalty. Disaster. Absolute disaster. You have a chance to go 1-0 up in the second half. And then Girona would just come out, and then you would have probably counterattacked them or done some transitional play, maybe caught them out in when you could have. Honestly, it's one of the most worst. That's why when it's penalties, bro, if I'm choosing like that instance there is like me going, oh, Vinny's gonna, oh no, Vinny, you take the penalty instead of Mbappe, bro. Come on, bro. You're gonna want Vinny to take a penalty instead of Mbappe. Mbappe is our penalty taker. Yeah. People can say Mbappe this, Mbappe that penalties. This guy scores bloody penalties, bro. Yeah. This guy scored penalties in the World Cup when it mattered the most. Yeah. And then he went and scored a penalty in the shootout as well against Argentina. Yeah. This guy knows how to score penalties. Yamal is a decent penalty taker, but he's not Rafinha. Yeah. I would have trusted Fermin Lopez to take that penalty more than flipping Yamal. What is Yamal even doing? I have no idea. Sorry. I call it the best player in the world because of his technique and everything. And I stand on that business. I stand on my shield on that, yeah, that he is. But look, sometimes your ego is too big for your own boots, bro. Like flipping hell, mate. Like, come on, you're going to take a penalty instead of Rafinha. You literally drag the ball away from him. Rafinha walking around, like looking like dazed guy. Okay, let the young G take the penalty here to be the star of the show. Rafinha, bro, that is your doing. I've got to say that. If Hansi Flick as well, bro, if I'm Hansi Flick, I'm running up to the corner flag, yeah, and I'm saying, you don't flip and take that penalty, yeah? Give it to Rafinha. Yeah, because they take penalties in training. He knows who's their penalty taker. Why doesn't Barcelona have a dedicated penalty taker? Why is it Yamal? Why is it Yamal taking penalties all the time? Why is it
video? Yeah, because Lewandowski used to take it, but Lewandowski stinks now. And like I mentioned, you're right. Rafinha last season, funny enough, he was the one taking the pens. And he was converting all the pens. That's why I don't understand why Yamal did what he did. That was just him thinking about himself in the spotlight,
madness.
Which is something I was criticizing
so
him
stingy, mate. So flipping selfish. That is selfish, yeah. And bro, I would say more words, but Yamal, boy, mate, I tell you what, like honestly, that is really bad. That is really bad. I've got to say, mate. But I'll let you finish. But just to end my point on this, like Barcelona, they had Nothing about them. They looked like 11 individuals, like they just met on a training pitch. That's what it was. That's what Barcelona looked like. I've got to be honest. And do you know what? From all the games running up to obviously that game against Atletico Madrid and feeding into it, like you realize now that like a lot of teams have shown Barcelona in terms of play and how to get past their defensive line, and the warning signs have been there, but nobody's listened. I have obviously say Barcelona can outrun that by just pure attacking potential, but unfortunately, they couldn't do that today. Girona were absolutely excellent. I've got to be honest; they were so flipping good today. The way Brian Hill probably played better than flipping Yamal, mate. Brian Hill, a reject from Tottenham, it's ridiculous. Like I've never seen anything like it. Like Lamar, an ex-Atletico Madrid player. Like he sealed the deal, probably, pretty much. Sealed the deal. Like this is Atletico Madrid is haunting flipping Barcelona, mate. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, man, today was a shambolic. Hansi Flick is all on Hansi Flick and Yamal as well to a certain extent. It's on Hansi Flick and Yamal. It's on those two because that penalty, unreal, mate. I honestly, I've lost a certain respect, even though he's young. I lost a certain respect for Yamal from that penalty. What you're doing there is ridiculous, mate. Give it to Rafinha. He's the guy, man, that's going to flip in. Rafinha would have banged that. I know as well, mate. I know Rafinha would have absolutely ripped the net into two pieces, mate, for that. And he would have gone into halftime. He would have run into halftime. Yeah, and Hansi Flick would have still dribbled into them. But honestly, horrible match from Barcelona. Let's be honest.
Dude, everything you said, I echo absolutely. It was embarrassing from every single standpoint. And here's the thing with Yamal. I really give a lot of credit to Yamal this year because he was showing me something different. He was playing for the team, right? But today's game, I saw the same player that I was seeing first half of the season. Yeah, the one I was criticizing the most because there was no reason for you to do that. Rafinha, everybody at the club knows he is the best penalty taker right now in this team, right? He elected to take the pen. I've already seen this season with Real Madrid where Vinícius took the pen from Kylian Mbappe, and I called out Vin. I didn't ask Barca. I said, yo, that was selfish. That was self-centered. You would think he was thinking about himself. It was the game against Villarreal. I was like, yo, he was thinking about himself there. You gotta let the penalty taker, the original penalty taker, take it, because when he scores and you win, you all win. At the end of the day, it makes no sense to me why Yamal would take the pen, except for the fact that he saw his name in lights. That's it. And I was very disappointed. And also there, I have to say, with Rafinha, I was disappointed with him too, because he is one of the leaders in this team. He should have looked at Yamal and said, Yamal, I don't care, bro. Listen, I'm taking this pen. This is a pressurized pen. Let me take it. All right? Let me take it. I'm the penalty taker here. Okay? And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He's not going to throw tantrums, because if he does, it's going to be everywhere. So he'll probably not be happy. But when you score, guess what? He would take the goal, because at the end of the day, we scored. We are leading. That's what matters, right? You can still go on later on in the game, get a goal later on in the game. Doesn't matter. But that performance today, and the fact that he did nothing, the only fight I saw him do was when he got tackled and the player got sent off. That's the only fight I saw from him today, right? Yeah. And like you mentioned, Rafinha today, bro, he was the only one that was trying something. He hit the post. He was hitting shots from outside the box, making the goalkeeper work. The only one that did anything in this game. And when it comes to the manager, man, like, I'm telling you, man, I'm getting tired. I literally made a video on this on Friday on this manager. His tactical arrogance, his tactical stubbornness is going to be the reason to his downfall. Because I'm seeing a lot of fans who have had enough. Because for everything good that this manager does, he is very frustrating in games like this. When things don't go our way and we're like, okay, tweak the system, change something, do something different. Let's see something new, right? Let's do something, right? Fall on your sword. No. The fact that today, the defensive line was all the way around the center circle, and literally, it was just 1-2 passing to Brian Hill every single time. And Brian Hill was just getting there one-on-one every single time. And I'm like, what the hell is this? right? Why is the line that high? It doesn't need to be that high, especially considering we have no players that are really good at recovering. It was an embarrassment, and we got exactly what we deserve. And you know what? The manager needs to hold most of the smoke for this. He needs to. I blame him for this defeat. I'm gonna be very honest. I blame him solely. The substitutions today, like you mentioned, Rafinha. The only excuse I can make is that Rafinha was the one who asked to be subbed off because he was feeling something. That's the only reason, because there was no reason for him to take off Rafinha today. He was the only one that was doing anything in that game. I'm sorry. Right? The fact that today he brought the same defensive partnership that we saw against Atletico that was getting cooked by Atletico. And surprise, they were getting cooked.
Yeah, so I was wondering.
Eric Garcia today, he kept them on side multiple times. This is why he was emotional at the end when he got substituted. Because he was the one that was keeping them on side for most of that game. Most of the time today, when Bryan Gil was going in the box. It was honestly, man, I was
Bryan Gil,
human,
man. Lamar, bro.
Bryan Gil, man. Like, bro, when you look at this Girona team, it's just surrounded with rejects, literally. Daily Blind, Witzel, Lamar, and flipping Sijanchov and all these guys.
Yeah.
Bryan Gil, that's who they have. And they're 15th in the table, and they just beat us. This was an embarrassment. And you know what? It's exactly what we deserve. And this is what I mean. Dave. Because people like to make excuses. And you know what they're going to do, right, Dave? For that, we know what Barca fans, a lot of these mutant Barca fans are going to do. We're going to see like, Omar, look at the second goal. Kunde was fouled.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my preview. I was like, I mentioned that. I'm
going to look. Yeah, you can call it a foul. But here's the funny thing, right? Are you going to look at that result and say that result was hard done? Or we didn't deserve that result?
Girona deserves to win.
Exactly. To win, and that's what it is. And you know what? Honestly, man, I have no words, man. I am disgusted by what I witnessed today, right? And you know what, right? This genuinely stinks of what we saw. Remember, funny enough, right? I know the Madrid Podcast returned last week, but if you remember before last week, the last show we did on your channel, funny enough, was when you guys were in this run that we are in, where you guys are playing teams that are in the lower half of the table, while we had like a lot of crunchy games, like the Atletico, the Villarreal games that were coming, and you were looking at that thinking, you were gonna win every game. We are now there. I was looking at these games in February and saying, we should win every game. Like on paper, bro, we are better than every team by far, right? Especially considering how we've been playing in January. But just like you guys, the same thing happens. We underestimate these guys. We go out there with our arrogant heads, and we've gotten exactly what we deserve. And yeah, it is what it is. Listen, at this point of the season, it's all about getting 3 points. It doesn't matter how you get it, right? But it is what it is. But Dave, I don't want to, we're not going to spend much time here. So let's actually just move on to the next topic. Because I don't. Let's talk about
what's the next topic? Is the next topic Real Madrid, yeah?
Listen, I am sorry. We're going to talk about Madrid because I want to talk about specifically one thing, man. What's all these penalties y'all be getting every game, bro? 2 penalties.
Here we go. People mention this, isn't it, to me in the comments that Omar's.
No, but seriously, we need to talk about this, bro. You guys have an average of a penalty every other game, bro. Like seriously. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me be clear. Obviously, we're talking about Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad ended 4-1. And look, I'm just going to be honest, right? Okay, the performance, you guys played well, right? It was a great performance, right? All around, I feel like all the attackers, they came out to play, guys like Gonzalo Garcia. Vinny had a great game. All these guys had a great game. Which, once again, I guess, Carreras had a great game. And you know what? That's something I'm going to talk about later on. But, let's just focus on the game. Obviously, 4-1, right? Vinny performance, great performance. Gonzalo Garcia, yet another goal. Trent, forgot to mention Trent. That first goal, right? The assist. That was just standard Trent Alexander.
Throughout the match, he was doing a good pass. Throughout the match.
He was, amazing in the game. Valverde with the goal as well. But in the game, right? Obviously, you had 2 pens. Obviously, there was 3 pens in the game because Sociedad had a penalty too, right? Which also was a pen. Now, the first pen, I'm gonna be very honest. I saw contact. I said, okay, cool. First penalty, it was a pen. The equalizer for Sociedad, I think it was a pen too. But I'm sorry, the second one from Vinny, there was literally no contact, bro. The guy came. It's like he breathed in the direction of Vinny, and Vinny just sensed his presence And right at the nick of time, he just went down. And you could literally see it, bro. He was literally waiting to be close to this player so that he could just go down. Yeah. And I'm like, I've seen this now multiple times this season with Real Madrid specifically, where there is no contact. It's not even like minimum contact, literally zero contact. But because the player is the opponent is too close to the Madrid player, penalty is given, right? Yeah. And listen, we got to talk about this because I'm a Barca fan, obviously, right? I know my team doesn't help me with the performances we saw yesterday, but bro, I'm a Brunel, man. It deflates me when I'm seeing the fact that you guys are getting away with things like this, man. But what did you think about, obviously, the performance and, your penalty ratio? Penalty and performance.
Yeah, Real Madrid played good. They surprised me. I've got to be honest. They played really direct football. They used the verticality of the football itself, actually for the first time ever in life, where Real Madrid actually played towards their strengths, which is pace, which is directness, which is quickness in transition. They needed to do that. I needed to see that for Real Madrid because that's where their strengths lie. Because Vini's really quick. Gonzalo's not quick, but imagine Mbappe in those areas with Trent and the actual floated through balls that he was making, unbelievable. Now let's talk about the penalties because I know there's a big story, and I had a lot of comments, people saying about, oh, Omar wants to speak to me about the penalties or whatever. Look, let me tell you something. Yeah, the first one, Vini initiated the contact. I know that already, but that's what he does with the drag back. Same as Mbappe. Mbappe does that as well. Mbappe drag backs. Always initiates contact with the defender. The defender goes straight into him, and the trailing leg is inevitably the one that gets taken off. The second one was literally like Bluetooth settings, like no contact at all. But the situation is that with Vini's positioning and how he made it look in terms of initiating the contact once again, it came to a penalty. They ruled it as a penalty because of how it looked, essentially, in terms of the contact between the players. I know it looked like it was a Bluetooth settings there, but unfortunately, because of Vini's positioning and how he was and so dangerous in that area, look, they deemed it a penalty. Look, do I necessarily agree with the penalties? The first one, yes. The second one, maybe not. I said on my match reaction that both of them were penalties. And well, they were in a match, but I don't know if they were literally in actual fact, bro. To be honest, like this, like today, look, the penalty that was given to Barcelona, it looked like a penalty. When I was watching it in real time, it didn't look like a penalty. It looked like it was just
one of those things, isn't it? Because sometimes
Secayo in Spanish, we call like falling over, like Secayo.
Yeah, but sometimes.
So that's what it means.
But you know what it is also, right, Dave? Yeah, but you know what it is also, Dave, right? And I don't, obviously, sometimes also it's the speed of the replay. Sometimes when the replay is moving fast, you kind of don't see you either like, you might see, it might look like there's contact. Like if you look at like the replay on normal time for the Vini second penalty, it looks like there was contact because it was very close.
That's what I'm saying. Because
exactly,
it looked like it was assisted. It was like literally like this. It looked like that basically.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is why I was like, okay, in normal speed,
fine.
What
that was,
I know, right? But yeah, I mean, look, it looks like that. But also in the game against Girona, Barcelona, right? I feel like if you look at it in normal speed, it looks like
it was Omo. It was Omo.
Yeah, Omo. It looks like Omo just went down like, easily. Right?
I said it was a foul. I said it wasn't a foul, but when I looked at
exactly, and then when you look at it, you see the contact. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, look. But look, at the end of the day,
at the end of the day, mate, penalties are penalties. Mate, Real Madrid, yeah, I think we've got the most awarded penalties this season in history in terms of one season already.
The next team. You have to put the next team. That's Girona, funny enough.
Okay, and we've got the penalties, mate. But you know what? I'm not gonna say, mate, I don't do the banter stuff, but at least we got a penalty taker that flipping tucks it away, bro. In Mbappe, bro. Vinny took both of the penalties. Actually, Vinny took penalties, but I know he's missed a couple as well. But like Mbappe had his them away.
My guy, has he missed a penalty this season? I don't think he has he?
Mbappe, not entirely.
I don't think he
think
does.
I
I don't
think
think
he
he
missed
has.
one in the Champions League. He missed one in the Champions League. I can't
Yeah, in
remember.
the Champions League
No,
probably, but in the league, absolutely not.
no, definitely not in the league. No, I don't think he's missed one in the league.
Bro,
I'm not
yeah,
entirely
I mean,
sure
look,
about
I
it.
mean, speaking of Mbappe, I know
But
obviously he didn't play in this, right? And this is the last thing I'm going to say, right? But you know, a lot of people that always do the debate of like Vinny and Mbappe, the one thing that they always use is how the team always looks when Mbappe is not in the game. And Vinny,
True,
and
It
you
looks
have a
weird. It looks
Vinny,
different.
Frank Garcia, and Rodrigo partnership. All three players all contribute. Whereas when Mbappe is on the pitch, it seems like his presence kind of like hinders the other players. And that's always like the big question, because we saw it in this game, right? Even though Vinny played well, I feel like there are other players, Gonzalo Garcia, right, who continues to play well, right, when he's given an opportunity, right? What do you think? Do you, when you look at the performance like you saw against Sociedad, do you look at that and say, well, if this continues, right, you would rather deal with this where everybody's contributing rather, or would you rather deal with Mbappe, who you know will always contribute?
Mbappe will always score. It's a question of who is actually delivering the passes to him. Look, if Trent and Carreras on that smoke with their long range passing,
right,
Mbappe and Vinny, I don't care, mate. They'll just get goals anyway. So I've turned the corner, mate. I've become a true like proper just
Madridista,
and not Madridista. I've always been a Madridista, but like an analytical like mastermind here, because I'm talking about like over the top through balls and all that. Like I'm looking at it and I'm saying, you're doing a good job here, mate. You're doing a great job here. Just keep the same thing. Keep the same thing, yeah. And then we'll just win games. That's it. Just get 3 points. That's it. Because you know what? I got to say something. In La Liga, they can't deal with this route one over the top through ball stuff. They can't. I don't see any teams doing it. Most of the teams in La Liga keep the ball on the floor. But this is Premier League-esque type football. Like just route one, over the top football. Like not like teams in Spain, because they're not aware of it. They get caught out of it. They're just trying to backpedal all the time. Like Vinny being running onto this and like with the pace that he has, and Mbappe running with the pace that he has, and Valverde on the right wing, bro, mate, it reminds me of Valverde, mate. I love seeing Valverde on the right wing. That's my favorite position for Valverde, because the man just runs. He's so quick, man.
Would you keep him there? Because I mean,
he wasn't playing right wing, but he was right mid and right center mid, and then overlapping like crazy, just going crazy down the right hand path of the pitch. So I would definitely keep in that. I'll keep this same formation for the remainder of the season. Maybe with Mbappe swapping out and putting obviously Mbappe in for Gonzalo Garcia. But bro, I'm excited,
of Gonzalo Garcia, man. I mean, he's been performing well though, right? Every time I see him, he's always performing. Yeah. Gonzalo Garcia,
he scores good positioning, good positioning.
Yeah,
but no, Mbappe's the guy. Mbappe will get the goals. When some of the chances that Gonzalo Garcia had in terms, like Mbappe would finish those. So that's my crutch of argument. I just want to see Mbappe there. I just want to see Mbappe run centrally. Yeah, if Mbappe and Vinny play as a two up top with Arda Güler behind, I think it could work. The problem is when Mbappe gets too crowded out and he occupies other people's positions. Like, stay centrally, bro. Like, use your pace and just run straight like an Olympic runner. Trent just feeds those over the top balls, mate. Just do that. Simplify the game. But against Benfica, it's going to be a different problem because.
Yeah, that's what we're going to segue to. So, what did you think about the game today? Later on today against Benfica, like what do you want to see?
I want to see exactly the same football as Sociedad, but I want to see it when Benfica start having attacking opportunities against us. I want to see Benfica, when they have attacking opportunities against us, I want to see us recover the ball quickly and just go over the top. That's what I want to see. I want to see us quickly beat them in transition. That's the main thing, because that's when Real Madrid are dangerous. If you watched the 23-24 season, Real Madrid were dangerous when they were on transition, when they were just literally just ruthless. They didn't really care about how many passes they build up the football with. They just route one, yeah. Carlo Ancelotti, in terms of when he started Real Madrid, built this kind of football where it was just very, very quick on transition. Zizou, the same. Jose Mourinho had the best example of it with Ozil and Di Maria and Cristiano Ronaldo and Benz and all these guys. So that is Real Madrid football, man. Real Madrid love quick counter-attacking football. That is what we need to play. And
you have those players for it.
Yeah, we do have the players because we have the pace. We have the pace, mate. That's it, simple. We have pace in abundance, yeah? So just do that. Do that. Who cares, man, yeah? And I think that we'll beat Benfica I'm going to say 2-1 to Real Madrid tomorrow. Benfica.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Another 2-1 goal line score.
All right. Well, listen. Hopefully these guys can lighten up my mood. Because I definitely need it. Benfica. Vamos Benfica, man. Please, man. Mourinho,
yeah, you're doing a hate watch, isn't it? You're doing a hate watch. I'm doing a watch along tomorrow. This is one of the first watch alongs.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Depends, because sometimes I'll be working. Sometimes if I do have the time, I might do a hate watch. But if not, I'll do a match reaction. Hopefully,
I'm going to the second leg. So Real Madrid, you better win tomorrow, because I'm not going to the second leg relying on remontadas, bro. I honestly, like, I haven't booked the ticket yet. I haven't booked my ticket. Yeah, I'm relying on Real Madrid. Yeah, I'm relying on Real Madrid to win this game tomorrow. Yeah, if it's a 1-goal scoreline, then yes. If it's 2 goals, I'll consider it. If it's 3 goals, brother, Real Madrid, they're not seeing me in Madrid, mate. They're not seeing. I'll just hope that in La Liga, bro. I'll just wait until I go to Spain. That's pretty much it.
All right. Yeah, listen, man. Yeah, it is what it is. Benfica, please, man, just do me a favor. I need it, man, after this stressful start of my week. But hopefully, we'll see. But listen, guys, big up to every single one of you guys. Big up to all the people who are watching. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Dave Talks Madrid. He's having a great day. Hopefully, he has a shitty rest of his day. When
I watched Barca match with you. I'm going to be honest here. I watched Barcelona matches with a certain neutral feeling. I'm going to be honest. I don't watch Barcelona matches.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna throw you.
I don't do it. I don't hope.
But there's too many people around us, man.
I just want to watch good football, because at the end of the day, if Real Madrid do their job, they should be able to win La Liga. Yeah. And now you're 2 points ahead. Real Madrid better flipping there to do their job so they can win La Liga. Yeah. So, bro, as long as Real Madrid do their job, they should be able to win. Yeah. The situation is though today, honestly, mate. Yeah. Hey, I gotta tell me that second goal winning, bruv. The low-key celebrations were there. I'm gonna be honest, bro.
I can imagine.
When the second goal went in, mate, the low-key celebrations were there. But you know what? On the Dave Talks Barca show, mate, I always keep it a buck, and I always explain tactically what went wrong for Barcelona. I don't do the banter stuff. As per usual, I keep it objective. And now on Real Madrid, I'm doing exactly the same, because people want to see that. But if Benfica beat us tomorrow, then Jesus Christ, mate. Old Dave may be returning. You never know, mate. You never know.
Yes, man. We'll see, man. We'll see.
I'm like a WWE superstar that goes face and heel like every 2 seconds. Man, you know, it's like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We move.
For sure. And listen, guys, make sure you guys go subscribe to Dave Talks Madrid. He will be, obviously, just mentioned, he will be doing a watch along, guys. So, make sure you guys go support him. He will do the match reaction and everything else, and so will I, man. But appreciate you, Barcelona. Thanks for ruining my week, and thanks for letting me.
Yeah, probably they did. They probably did. They probably did.
Yeah, they really have. They really have. Yeah, it is what it is. Listen, guys, big up to you guys. Smash the like button on your way out, and comment, guys, in the comment section what you guys think about everything we've talked about here. Yeah, man. Peace. Take care.